Three men, 200,000 miles from Earth, and a bang that changed everything. It was April 11th, 1970. America was getting comfortable with space travel. Neil Armstrong had already walked on the moon. Apollo 13 felt almost routine, so routine that the major television networks barely covered the launch. But the universe had other plans. Commander Jim Lovell, Command Module pilot Jack Swigert, and Lunar Module pilot Fred Hayes were 56 hours into their mission when Swigert did something completely ordinary. He flipped a switch to stir the oxygen tanks. Standard procedure. Something crews had done dozens of times before. Then came the sound. A deep, violent shudder that tore through the spacecraft like a gunshot. "Houston, we've had a problem." Those 6 words became the most famous distress call in human history. Oxygen tank number 2 had exploded. Tank number 1 was bleeding out. The command module, their home, their ride back to Earth, was dying. In the void of space, with no breathable air for 200,000 miles in any direction, Jim Lovell looked out his window and watched. A cloud of gas venting silently into the darkness. He knew exactly what he was seeing. He knew exactly what it meant. They had hours, maybe less, at mission control in Houston. Flight Director Gene Kranz refused to let panic take hold. He pulled his team together and said something that has echoed through history ever since. Failure is not an option. These were not empty words. They were a directive. Engineers, scientists, and technicians, many of them barely older than college students, began working around the clock to solve a problem that had never existed before. The crew abandoned the dying command module and squeezed into the Lunar Module, a small, spider-legged spacecraft designed to land 2 men on the moon for 45 hours. Now it had to keep 3 men alive for 4 days. It was like being asked to survive a cross-country road trip in a phone booth. Power was cut to the bone. Temperatures inside the cabin dropped to near freezing. The crew slept in their suits. They rationed water. They waited. Then came the next crisis. Carbon dioxide levels were rising. The astronauts were slowly poisoning the air with every breath. The Lunar Module's carbon dioxide filters were round. The command module's backup filters were square. In space, that difference was potentially fatal.